think it would be safe to say, it would be accurate to say that I've kind of hibernated this whole winter. I visited my shelter friend less than a handful of times. Many days I didn't leave the house at all. Many days, because it was storming out, for whatever reason I was sleeping in the daytime. Many days I only left the house, to go for a walk with the dogs and my mom. But what I did accomplish is I didn't hibernate and shove food in my face. Okay? I maintained my weight within 1 pound. 1 fucking pound. And now it's gonna be warm out. I'm gonna start walking a lot because walking is cheap. Walking's free. Walking's free, and it's great exercise. It's not, relatively risk-free. This is Poland spring water, fresh grapefruit juice squeezed from grapefruits. I got sick of eating grapefruits. I paid $1 each for them, and they're gonna go bad. I mean, the last time I had to throw away some of them, I just got sick of eating them. Better to have it in juice than to waste it completely. So this is lemon and grapefruit juice and water. I maintain my weight. I dropped 13 pounds. I maintain my weight. And Norma lost 0.8 pounds. So it's all good. Actually, Norma lost 0.8 pounds from the time I took him to the vet to get his nails done, and 6 weeks later, he might have been over 23 pounds at some point. I don't know. Watching my other videos, I gave the 3 top things that any friend or lover or anything in between of mine really should know about me. Anyone who's not just, a stranger or casual acquaintance, whatever. Any friend or lover or combination of the two. There's a 4th thing. In the last 4 years, and a lot of trauma periodically throughout my life. I mean, this has been going on for a long time. This world scares me. Everything about it. I even scare myself. So that's number 4. So if you want to recap them, and then in no particular order. Number 1, this world scares me, always has. It terrifies me to the point I could become immobilized, but I don't. It's number 1. Number 2, I've never wanted to be here. Never. When I say never, I mean obviously I probably wasn't really forming those kinds of ideas in my head when I was a young kid, from when I was a teenager on, never wanted to be making the best of something that doesn't please me too much. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3, I have lived in fear. Irrational or not, I don't think it's irrational, but that I would succumb to the mental illness that runs in my family. It's not just my mom. My mom was my, my first hand, pretty much, whatever you want to call it. I mean, she's the one I'm most affected by. When I say fear of succumbing to the mental illness in my family, we've already established that I have severe problems, psychological problems, dealing with the world, dealing with myself, dealing with whatever. I've already established that. I'm talking about, like, quote unquote, going mad, going crazy, doing something bad, that like my mom has done, that she wouldn't have been held accountable for, i.e. chasing me up the stairs and trying to hurt me when I was 23, and I got away. Had I not gone away, she later told me that the voices in her head had told her that I was an alien that needed to be knocked out, okay? However, she would have done it if I would have survived it, or if I would have had to fight back and hurt her. Either way, it would have been another fucking trauma in my trauma-filled life. It was still a trauma. It just didn't end as badly as it could have. So that's number 3. And number 4, I have undeniably had an extremely dysfunctional, trauma-filled, pain-filled life. Particularly, we want to focus particularly on when I was a kid, because when I was a kid, it was completely beyond my control, okay? Any kid who's in an abusive, whatever kind of abuse it happens to be, situation, dysfunctional, whatever, it's beyond their control. It's something, there's nothing they can do about it, okay? As an adult, I was definitely culpable in my own pain, okay? Definitely. I'm not going to sit here and say it was all everyone else's fault. No. I was culpable, definitely. Sure, things happened that were definitely, I'm not going to hold myself responsible. Yeah, I was being a bitch. I was drunk. He was drunk when Donald left me, shoved me backwards down that hill where I was knocked unconscious and lump this big on the back of my head, bruises on my giant bruises on my arms, and could have been dead or worse. Shouldn't have went with them to begin with. We weren't really getting along, but no, I'm not going to hold myself responsible for that one. I'm not going to hold myself responsible for, obviously, for my mom getting sick again, or, I'm not responsible for my mom's schizophrenia. Whether it happened as an adult or when I was a kid. So, definitely there's a lot of pain and dysfunction in my life that was beyond my control. But I'm also, when I was an adult, I was culpable in my own pain. Definitely, I admit that. I've done a lot of things I'm not proud of, a lot of things I'm outright ashamed of. I'm not going to elaborate, it doesn't really matter. But those are the 4 things. I had said 3 things in the other videos of this same title, parts 1, 2, whatever. The 4th thing is definitely this entire reality existence terrifies me almost to the point where I could give up, It's always terrified me, and I include myself in that equation. I terrify me, But that terror and all these things that I talk about and how I feel about the world and that I've never belonged and never will and all this crap creates constant, continuous anxiety and tension in me that reverberates down to my very soul. So, there you go. There you go. There it is in a nutshell. Always done the best I could, though. Made lemonade out of lemons. And here we are, 44 and still alive and kicking. Shocking to me, and I'm sure shocking to some other people, because it was touch and go for quite a while when I was back in, quote-unquote, living in LA with my abusive ex and his quote-unquote devout Christian mother. It was touch and go because I just my life had just hit rock bottom, and he loved me drinking with him, and I would drink with him, but I didn't really want to drink with him, but he would want me to split the booze, and I'd do that, and then I wouldn't drink much with him, and then I'd go off by myself on another day with the extra booze, and take the bus to Hollywood, and be shit-faced wandering around Hollywood, and go to Spotlight Bar, or whatever, I was on just doing whatever the fuck I felt like doing. My life had hit rock bottom, and I was just drifting. A couple times I wandered around, not in Hollywood, but in our city. Culver City, blacked out for 4 hours, of which I remembered nothing the next day, but I was crossing streets and whatnot. I could have so easily died, been raped, been murdered, driven hit by a car, anything. It wasn't planned, but I didn't start out drinking happy. I started out drinking and just so angry and so hurt, by the way, not by Donald, how he treated me. I was expecting that. Donald's bad treatment of me never fazed me. It just carried on. We just weren't having horrible sex anymore, We weren't cuddling or having horrible sex. It was still like I was his girlfriend, doormat girlfriend. It was the same thing. I expected that. That was the price I paid to be able to stay there. No, his mom turned against me over inexplicable, ridiculous, just because she was fed up with her alcoholic, lazy son of a bastard son. Not rocket science, she would say it to me. He's a waste of a man. He's no good. He's a drunk, pitying me. Did he drink last night, and then I'd have to be tattling on him, and it's just a big fucking dysfunctional mess with me pitted in between the two of them, okay? But yeah, I could have easily done more than once. When I wandered around blacked out, I wasn't enjoying myself. I was downing booze in public bathrooms, okay? But I still reserved beer at the AM PM and drink it in the park bathroom down the street. I was doing whatever and when I would have done whatever I wanted. Wandering around. I didn't intend to be locked out, did I? No, I didn't know until the next day when I remembered nothing. But I actually created some videos. I won't take them off private. I don't want them to get flagged or something. But I created them all, and they tell me what I was doing that I don't even remember. That's a weird experience. And it was sparked by her, because she was my only friend, and she turned on me. She was fed up with her own life, fed up with her fucking son, where she's working all the time, and he doesn't work at all. He borrows money from her, and doesn't have enough to pay the rent because he buys his computer shit. He got enough on his Social Security disability. He wanted to buy his computer shit, and that's why he's a little fucking selfish little boy. And his mom took over where I left off, but she was getting fed up because her job, she wasn't making as much money as before. And when's he gonna change? Doesn't he realize that I'm at my wit's end and I can't take it anymore? Laura, and she'd complain to me and try to be my friend, and then she'd viciously turn on me. So yeah, I'm still here, alive and kicking, and it's a fucking miracle, because it was touch and go. It was touch and go when Omar and I were living on the streets of LA for 7 days. Not literally on the streets. Some nights we stayed in a hotel, cheap, disgusting, don't even want to think about it. One of them was in Hollywood. It was where people probably go to have afternoon fucking, 1 hour sex or something. It was huge. I forget what name it was. But we could only stay there because my mom was able to send me money. She was only able to send me money. That was a fucking miracle. She doesn't have her car anymore. She was saving up little bits of money. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been able to save me a penny. Because Mary controls it all, and my mom's forbidden to help me even if I'm fucking on my deathbed. Okay? So those 7 days in the streets of LA, some nights we were on the streets. We just found something that you could do so you don't have to be on the streets. You ride the bus all night long. and you get off the bus at a certain point, and you have to wait while there's a layover for 20 minutes, half hour, whatever, and you get back on the bus, and right to the very end of the whatever, the schedule, you know, the route, and then you get off for the 20, and you do it all night long till the daylight, and then you have another day of daylight to figure out what you can do, you know. We did that, I don't know how many times I did that. I did it by myself at the end, when Omar was safe, and I was going to be able to get him. Not even almost fell through. Not on my end, on this end. But I refused to let it. I refused to let it. I knew my mom was going to back down. I knew something was going to happen. I knew it. So I didn't call her. I already had my flight. I knew she was going to tell me, don't come. And I was going to lose my mind. I nearly did. I ran, when she was hinting at it, I ran out of the OPCC in Santa Monica, ran down the street screaming that I just wanted to fucking die. And then people in there, not staff, but, you know, some couple people, one guy was chasing me, but he was going to preach religion to me or whatnot, and I got on the first bus I could, because the police would have got me, and that would have been the end of that too, you know. Because my mom was breaking my heart. She promised me she'd stay up to the family, promised me nothing was going to prevent me from coming to her. So you know what, I'm like, I have my flight, I'm getting home. I am not going to be fucked over again by this life, and I came here anyway. And my fears were realized, of course. There's been a change of plans. I'm at the airport with Omar. There's been a change of plans. Sorry, you can't come here. I'm sorry, you would be arrested. You know, you have to go to the shelter. All right, Mom, what about Omar? She would take Omar, at least. So Omar was safe. I can survive anything. I've proved it, haven't I? I'm a fucking survivor. I can survive anything. But don't any of you sit there and you don't know me. I mean, if you know me in person, that's one thing. And if you have taken the time to watch all 4,000 of my videos, that's another thing. But don't stumble across, watch a few of my videos, and think you know me so well that you can declare without any reservation whatsoever you're positive that I suffer from this or that condition, okay? Don't do it. It's arrogant, it's presumptuous, it's just ridiculous. You don't know me based on the content or what you see me project in just a few of my videos, even in 100 of my videos. You don't fucking know me, okay? You don't know me unless you know me in person. You don't know me from these videos. These videos are just my outlet. I can scream and cry in one video and show you my big, giant, voluptuous ass in another one. Okay? Capiche? The end.